I've been trying to make this video for days now, but the one thing worse than people making all kinds of noise is people making no noise. And I don't want people listening to me, especially talk about this subject. This is my kitchen bathroom. I live in a house, it's a huge house. I don't want to share a kitchen. The kitchen's really run down. I'd rather not deal with people than live the way that I do. So let me show you, there is a lot of crossover. I don't know how I would function. I would need to function in a big space. I've been also watching a lot of van life videos again. I think it's becoming a trend again. I also have to be very careful with my computer because it does shut off by itself recently. It's going to have to be replaced. Everything's ongoing. So I'm going to try not to bump it because usually that's kind of what happens. Okay, so there is huge crossover. Oh yeah, so I've been watching the van life videos, and on those van life videos, I see all of the stuff they have, and I said, I don't need or have that much stuff. And I realized how minimal it is and how much crossover there is between what I use in the bathroom and what I use in the kitchen. They're the same thing. The same stuff that I put on my body is the same stuff that I put inside my body. And I guess that's super hippie minimalist. And we're also going to declutter some more stuff that I know that I'm not going to use. So I have 3 appliances in here. So it is kind of ironic that I use this halogen bulb cooker because it's like an easy bake oven. Kind of ironic that me, of all people, the toy guy, and they don't even make them anymore. I think that they use too much electricity. I don't know what I would do. That is what I make potatoes in. I usually don't have this many potatoes, especially in the winter time, or especially in the summertime, because it's too hot and they go bad easily. But there was a $2 potato sale, so I stocked up on 3 bags. I do like to open my potatoes when I buy them and use up all of the ones that have any blemishes, or see if there's anything rotten in the bag, because every once in a while there's going to be a spoiled potato, and one spoiled apple ruins the whole something else. I did have apples, and I did want to show you a couple days ago. I had apples, and there hasn't been a lot of canned pineapple. And I'm thinking that maybe it is more economical for me to eat apples. I don't think I go through as many as I think I would. I mean, I talk about, where am I going to go after this? Am I going to be some kind of vagabond? I guess that's the better way to say it, which is why I'm watching van life videos, I guess, more recently. But I think I would just eat apples and bananas. And yeah, I mean, a bag of apples is $8. $8 a day for food, like one meal. That's a lot. It is a lot of calories if you do it, and it's a lot. I don't know. I get such weird comments. That would be really healthy, and people don't realize that. Just eating potatoes is also really healthy. The amount of vitamins and nutrients, and the fact that it's a whole food. So I only eat whole foods. Well, that's what I say out loud, but every once in a while there are slip-ups. So halogen cooker, I don't use any oils or anything. I just cut up the potatoes, stick them there, 3 pounds. So I know that there's 3 pounds because I use about a third of a 10-pound bag every time I make them. So that's usually one meal, and I like to spoil myself, and which I shouldn't be doing. I should just be eating them by themselves because that's all I can afford. But for a while I was using mustard from the dollar store. This can last a long time, but I have been spoiling myself with either baba ganoush or hummus. And we'll talk about the hummus sometime. And then sometimes I have rice and beans, and I'm out of pineapple, and I mix corn in with the rice and beans. So those are just some other things that I eat. But for the most part, I just have baked potatoes every day, either hummus or baba ganoush. Okay, so the baba is fantastic right out of the can. Also, it's because of the ingredients. You can get all kinds of stuff with added oils and added stuff. It is just eggplant and tahini, or just chickpeas and tahini. I think it has citric acid, which is vitamin C. So that's an incredible thing for me. Don't need a refrigerator. Always have fresh produce, because I do have to buy, sometimes I have to buy it every day, especially in the summertime. My apples were a little mealy buying them, especially because it was taking me 3 or 4 days to eat all of the apples. I bought a huge bag. Okay. I don't. Where's the crossover? Should we do the crossover first? I guess not. Sea salt, Himalayan sea salt goes into everything. This is the best. This is the best invention that I made. Oh, we're gonna revisit this later. I use a rice cooker. This rice cooker saves me. Now I've got this ADHD thing going on where I put on a, if I boiled something, so this is all black. Like I'm not allowed to use the stove. If I go away, if I put something on and I go away, I'll completely forget. And I've struggled this my whole life. I watched my mother do it. I watched kitchen fires in my house. I watched it happen, and I do the same thing. Something in the brain gets distracted, totally forget. I'm in my own world. I totally forget what's going on. And things boil over, pot boils. The rice cooker turns itself off. Actually, it just lowers itself to a low heat. But also, it's been a good transition point for me because I never really forget about it. Like I've never left the house or anything with it going, which could happen sometimes, which is why I'm not allowed to use the kitchen. And okay, so I'm going to jump around. I've talked about if I wasn't in this situation, I could just eat raw produce and be totally happy. Yeah, I think I love bananas and I love apples, and that is probably what I would eat. Now, if I found stuff in the wild that I could pick off a tree, I would like. And then, okay, so in this, I boil the water. I make hot chocolate. It's a treat. Like, because I do an intermittent fasting thing, I only eat like once a day. So sometimes I'm like I feel like I'm living the best life. Like I don't really like drinking water, more so in the summertime. I wanted to talk about drinking water. I guess this is the video to do it. Cavemen? Animals? Like, I mean, there's only so much water. This water craze that people are on these days is kind of weird. Now, I just came back from hot yoga. For a new studio just opened, and that's why that yoga mat's there, because I have to take a shower with it in myself. That's going to happen eventually. My towel's probably going to fall off. But this is a new scenario. I didn't really put anything in these cabinets, but it is a good crossover. I guess here's something that I use. I buy dish detergent, and I buy, this is a new laundry detergent for me. I stocked up, something that minimalists don't do. But when you buy in stock, and this is also, like, I feel like I'm way more of a minimalist than most minimalists, because buying in bulk makes you save money that way. I get coupons and stuff, and I use the same thing. I gotta be careful not to bump my computer. So look at all these things. There's nothing more minimalist than using all of the same things and keeping things neat. This is kind of probably what the downstairs kitchen looks like. Careful. Maybe one day I'll show you. I think I've showed it in probably a video before. I'm not good at sharing. Did I say that? That's not. Okay, so even though this has been discontinued at my store, I'm going to have to choose another one. Actually, there's an ingredient in here, just some kind of, it's not calcium chloride. What is it? It's carbonate de potassium. So sodium bicarbonate is baking soda, which would be fine, but maybe I shouldn't be using this anyway because there's potassium carbonate. I'm gonna have to look that up. It's just cocoa and that, so it's some kind of preservative in there. Maybe I shouldn't be using it, but it was inexpensive. It's a chocolate treat. I mix it with something that is really hard to come by, only can get it at one store. They even stopped. I can't even find it online anymore. I used to get it from Amazon. Stevia leaf powder. I might use too much of this. I have a real sweet tooth, so that's what I do throughout the day. If I have like a sugar craving, however, now that I'm mixing in the apples, I think that things might get a little better. So I think that apples are cheaper than pineapple, because a can of pineapple is $1.79, and the amount of apples that you can get for $6 probably is comparative to those 3 cans of pineapple. All right, so here's where the crossover is. Apple cider vinegar, I use it in my food. I add it to the hummus with some of these spices that I keep up there, which we'll talk about the spices that I use, and coconut oil, which I put on my skin and I put on my popcorn. So what a great segue. So that's all that's under there. Laundry detergent, dish detergent, I probably wouldn't need it if I was, more minimalist and more rich, or didn't have to spend money on other things or worry about other things. I'd probably use Dr. Bronner's for everything, for all soap. A lot of hippie people do that. It's kind of expensive, and like you can put it for the laundry machine. I think there's all those new laundry papers now that people have made. That is probably, if I was traveling around with just one bag, I would probably put one of those. Those last a really long time, and then go to laundromats when I have to. But we have to talk. That's another day. We're gonna do an outfit. I probably should have did that video sooner too. The amount of the clothes that I wore in the summertime is crazy. So I just know I would need 4 items of clothing if I lived in Hawaii, and could replace them as needed. Okay, so popcorn maker is like a treat. I'm like, people have been telling me that I'm getting too skinny, so I have started eating more again. At the end of the day, if I'm still hungry, which is every day pretty much, I will make 1 or 2 things of popcorn, and I'll put quite a bit of oil on it. Maybe I don't need the popcorn popper. Popcorn popper, I always buy them at thrift stores. You usually can get them brand new. I mean, of course, I clean it thoroughly. That's another point that I have to make. But yeah, I use them so much, I guess they break. Air poppers. I think I make them run too long, because I don't want to waste a single kernel. So I like to put the kernels that didn't pop back in, pop them. If they still didn't pop, put them in. And if anything, they get roasty and crunchy. I don't want, like, I am such like an old-fashioned, what was that thing that happened in the 20s? The Depression. I just have that in me where I don't waste, and that's something else, I don't waste a single piece of food, which is why I prefer apples over bananas. You can eat the peel on bananas. Did you know that? I've not done that. Probably better if you cook that. It tastes better. I've seen like bacon recipes. The spices that I use, rosemary, I will put in the hummus to make the hummus taste good. Now that hummus actually does taste pretty good, but it's really, really thick. So I like to water it down with apple cider vinegar. I add that to it, and then I'll add some spices just to jazz it up because I can. But all of this is unnecessary. Sometimes I will, if I'm really hungry and I've been out all day or something, and I come home and I don't have time to. Potatoes take like an hour to roast. So I will get a spoon and just eat the hummus out of a can. Also, I could put in a can of beans, a can of peas, and pineapple. I make this tropical salad, or I guess you call it a Mexican salad is what I do. Yeah, so I would corn, any kind of bean, and pineapple. Like I'll drain the juices from everything. I won't drink the bean juice, but I do drink the pineapple juice, obviously. Pineapple's the best fruit because, and not always, but this is what I look for, because it's always in its own juices. It's pineapple and pineapple juice. All the other stuff usually has a light syrup. Pineapple, I think you can also get with a light syrup, which it doesn't matter. Maybe I'm over that. Oh, which is why I have these bins with extras. So again, something that minimalists never do, but I do, because you stock up. The more I buy of one thing, the more points I get when I have a special discount for the points. So I do that. And yeah, okay, back to the spices. Rosemary, garlic, chili powder, ginger, and cinnamon. Oh, I guess this is a great segue. So the ginger and cinnamon, sometimes I'll put it in with the hot chocolate, just adding a spoonful of chocolate, a spoonful of stevia, some ginger and some cinnamon. But mostly the ginger and cinnamon is to mix with the oatmeal. And it's also, sometimes I'll mix it with rice to make rice pudding. So I don't use the rice very often. I bought a lot of rice. So most of this bin is rice in the bottom of it because there was a great deal and I bought it. But I don't know. It takes the same amount of time, I guess, to make rice as it does potatoes. I don't like it as much. No, I do like it. I don't know why I don't do it as much. I got nauseous one day after having it, and I was worried that it didn't work well with my digestive system. But then I used a strainer, so I do have a strainer. I didn't strain it. I thought, why bother straining it? Because I'm boiling it to death anyway. The rice cooker, I didn't tell you about the rice cooker. I'm all over the place. So the Teflon pot of the rice cooker, I've mentioned this in another video before, but we'll go again. So I bought this pot separately, and it is the best thing that happened to this rice cooker too. So it just took it to the next step. We're going to be throwing out the Teflon pot today because I know that this Frankenstein, it looks like it goes together even. It's even a nicer appliance this way. The little tiny dish that used to fit in there, it used to boil over. That was one of the reasons why making rice was such a pain. Right now I have most of the brown rice. So again, I'm not going to buy white rice, but I also have black rice, which I really, really like. It cost a little bit more, so I had used that, but I do have to use up this other rice. I have to use the rice more. It's delicious. Mixing rice and potatoes is also an option. But also the rice and the beans, I can do a more savory thing with I use the same things, the garlic, and I also have, which I don't keep in the jars, is onion powder and onion flakes. So I don't have to they're not going to go bad. I always have them, the flavoring's always there. I put the onion powder and the garlic, and I put the chili powder on popcorn too. And we'll get back to that in a second too. Okay, oatmeal, pineapple. You don't have to cook it. I don't boil the oatmeal. The rice you have to boil, obviously, to make rice pudding, or rice and beans. I can make a pudding by adding the stevia to it and making it sweet, or I can do rice and beans, and that I don't. But I do like to add savory and sweet together, so sometimes I will even I did it once, maybe twice. I made my pineapple, beans, and corn salad, but then I put rice in it as well. And it was like a Mexican fiesta delicioso. It was so delicious. Okay, crossover. Okay, here's something. This is going to be a crossover video that we're going to do. I'm going to go around the rest of my room, my housing situation, and I'm going to talk about things that I'm going to get rid of and things I'm going to keep. So we probably can do that now. We're done. This is unacceptable to me. You can see that everything I have needs to be kind of old-fashioned and replaceable, and I can get rid of some of the stuff. And maybe we should talk about now if I mentioned everything. I think I mentioned everything. Anyway, corn, pop it in the air popper. I do put olive oil on it. I probably could cook it in a pot. Maybe. If I had a burner and stuff. I like air popcorn. I can choose not to put anything on it if I want. But vinegar. This is more ethical vinegar that I still have. I was spraying this. I use it as a shampoo for in my hair. This is I don't use white vinegar for cooking. I use it for cleaning. But I mean, there's such a difference. I mean, there might be something ethical and logical about the world, but I have to worry about my own finances right now before I do anything else. Baking soda I use for cleaning. Vinegar I use for cleaning. Both of those things are edible. I use a more high quality baking soda for brushing my teeth just because it's going, but I also use tea tree oil. So put a drop of tea tree oil on my toothbrush. The toothbrush has to be replaced. I know that I use these natural toothbrushes. I'm still look out for the earth, but it also is a good reminder because they do wear out faster than a regular toothbrush. I know when the bristles start falling out, it is time to put that in the blue bell. Oh, I could have stopped recording right there. 2 garbage cans, recycling, and garbage. We are going to get to the dishes that I also use and keep. I think that's for the minimizing. Okay, I think we're good. Anyway, I don't need to use. I'm struggling with this. Is a much better looking spray bottle which I got at the dollar store. I've never found one that was good enough, but the quality of this one is so sturdy. However, I don't like the little edges in there. It's hard to clean. I don't know, I worry about that getting, well, it does. It gets dirty inside those little grooves in the nozzle. So that's a design flaw, but it is a really good, sturdy spray bottle that I got. So I do like that part of it. This one's a little cheaper, but it looks nicer in my environment. All of that stuff is very important to me. There's a Scandinavian movement about that. And I think it has a lot to do with why I'm so happy, because there's studies on happiness, and I go out of my way. Everything has to be to my liking. Everything has to be beautiful and cozy, and something that every item that I have has to be beautiful. And that is probably gonna be my next video, unless it's my what I wore all summer. It's gonna be one of those 2 videos. But let's move on to the dishes. So I collect. Okay, this is part of the memory. I just bought this, but I had to wash it out and dry it. An antique vase from probably the turn of the century. I'm gonna add it to the collection. In the next video, I am gonna be decluttering this and this, because I found another one of these and I did research on it and realized that it was only from the 70s, that it's not so old. This I'm not even sure of. I don't like blue, so those are gonna go. So, but that is a whole story for another day. But also it is connected to, wait, did I look fat in here? Last time people were catching me, if anything, I look skinny, right? Too skinny, too fat. All right, so, I also use toilet paper as paper towel when needed. Sometimes we need to do that. But I do have quite a bowl collection, and they do come in handy when this happens. When I have overstock, I do fill them. There were apples in this bowl underneath, but these are like antique bowls that I've collected throughout the years. I use them. This one I think might have been a bedpan, so I don't put food in it normally, even though it's been washed and definitely very, very sanitized. I'm very sanitizial. And there's a thing called phages, which is 360 to this whole bathroom kitchen experience, which I never talked about that in this video, but I used to travel a lot. So the place where the water is kept is in a hotel, is the bathroom. So if you need some water, you have to go to the bathroom. So I have lived out of a lot of hotels throughout the years, and this is kind of where I learned this, because you can't control what you eat. Control is also a big theme in this video, and a big theme of my channel, and probably a big theme of all of the problems that I have. Which is why I don't use the kitchen downstairs. And also I can control everything in here. So yeah, sometimes you need a piece of paper towel, and I'll use that. And I will compost it. I do keep which which is really amazing. I keep the paper bags that the potatoes come in, and I put any peelings or stuff that I have to peel off. And for some reason, because I guess I keep it in the paper bag, it never smells or anything. I mean, there's very little food waste. Again, there is very little food waste. It has to be pretty bad that I'll cut it off. But I can keep that there for a week and it doesn't smell or anything. And I don't know, maybe it's even adding earthier environmental to my... Anyway, I guess the paper bag lets it breathe and it works it really well. And then I throw it out in the compost once a week so it's never there for longer than a week, because that's when the compost truck comes and picks up the stuff. So I'm very grateful and lucky for that. There was something that I wanted to be very grateful for. Well, I think somebody left a comment on my channel and was talking about how I should be using a food kitchen and stuff like that. And I'm like, what? I have so much. I have an abundance of stuff. There is no way that I should be using other people's resources. I need to use my own resource. I need to sell my resources, which they're very valuable, and I do sell them, and I do make a lot of money. But all of that being said, I think I would have to abandon most of this stuff, and it is quite interesting. Just a toothbrush, which we have to go in here, which I guess I'm going to have to do an updated beauty video, even though this video was supposed to be a crossover. But basically, the only beauty supplies I use are vinegar, sometimes to wash my hair. I have a bar of soap that I don't like to use. Like I might use it on my bottom if I feel really dirty or something, or on my hands if I feel really dirty. But I use that clear dish soap is everything. I use it for cleaning around. I use it for washing my hands. Use it for washing the dishes. I would even use it for laundry. Maybe I should use it for laundry. This is the toothbrush that I bought in bulk and saved a lot of money. But they now have ethical toothbrushes at the dollar store. So I guess I don't have to take it out. I'll just put it in there so it's ready for when. Yeah, these ones are compostable toothpicks. So I still do my part despite not being able to do it. They're probably they're less than $1 more to buy those than to buy the plastic ones. And I mean, I do care about the environment. I don't like plastic things. I don't like chemicals. I don't like the way that they smell. I don't like the way that they make me feel. So I don't like to wear plastic clothes. For some reason, I'm able to wear plastic shorts and stuff, which I guess we'll talk about one day. I wonder sometimes the lighting shows my age. Sometimes the lighting makes me look so good, so youthful. My youthful skin and skinny body. Oh yeah, and for you people who are saying that I'm too skinny, like there's less than a handful of people who think that I'm too thin. A lot of people are saying nice things, but people are stopping. Like men, like straight men. Like I usually get looks from girls and men who aren't straight all the time. But what I've been this time, like I walk around shirtless all the time. Straight men are stopping their trucks and saying, "You look strong, man." And that never happens, and it's been happening over and over again. It's like ridiculous. I feel like I'm on some kind of... So something's going on. So I don't know if you skinny people call me skinny. Maybe I look thinner on camera than I do. But anyway, I feel skinny, so I am skinny. So what else do we have here? So out of my bowl collection, when I pop popcorn, I do like to pop it into one bowl. Also, I don't like to cook or put food in these bowls because they're kind of old. They could be made with lead. So I take that in consideration and just store produce that I'm going to wash first before I eat. And this is probably a newer bowl, but it's an old-fashioned style. Actually, it's probably not. Mostly you don't have to worry about lead in pottery that is white. It's usually a color thing to make the colors pop. But I also... two glasses, which I was just using one glass. Oh yeah, and that's the one thing that I wanted to talk about. This is so out of character for me, but I don't always clean that. You might be able to see, hopefully you can't see. The rack is dirty. Like in an ideal world where I didn't have other things to do, if I was retired and didn't have to worry about making money or other problems, I think I would wash that every day. I love I always hated doing the dishes. Now I love doing dishes because of the podcast, the invention of podcasts and everything. And this cup and that is why these cups are so awesome. I was storing cutlery in one of these other ones for so long in the cupboard. Oh, and we're going to go back in that cupboard and get rid of some stuff. And I've dropped these on the floor. See, I'm so clumsy, which we'll talk about soon again too. But I don't wash this out every time, so it does sometimes have cocoa residue in here. And I mean, sometimes I'll even drink water out of it. But I know that I'm the only one drinking out of it. It's the same cocoa powder that's being put in there. It gets, I don't know, do you hear the cicadas? Are they bothering you? They're hissing. I like the hissing cicadas. All right, so then brings me to these nesting bowls. I've mentioned this in another video where the OCD in me, I don't know, there's both. I think the OCD is a part of my ADHD, but I know to set up everything so it makes everything easy. That is, and I've watched some videos on here. It's something that I came up with myself, but I didn't realize that it is a huge side effect to ADHD. And I've never been diagnosed. It's just I know I know how my brain works. I know that it doesn't function the way that other people's brains. And I wouldn't change a thing, which is probably why I'm not on medication. Now, I wouldn't use any of those cups if possible. I tried to use this bowl, and I thought, how perfect. I can use this bowl as a cup, and it's actually, I like a big open bowl because it's easier to clean out. You don't have to get your hand in there. So much easier to clean get in there with your cloth and everything. Oh, speaking of OCD, that's how I fold my dish towels and stuff, which they're getting a little dingy, and I also like to hang, you can see that one's a little dingy. I like to hang them on that popcorn maker, which comes in handy because that way that they air dry and be clean. But yeah, I like a symmetrical placement. I also I loved folding my towels, but this is oh, we get to go full circle again. This is me setting up everything so that it's just easier. I have a towel for each day of the week. There's 8, and I have an extra one just in case I take an extra shower or something, or I don't know, just want to dry my hands off on something. Usually I don't use a towel. I'll use a washcloth to dry off in the summertime. I don't really need a towel, but at night before I jump into bed, perhaps I will. So I tried using this bowl, and it cracked a little bit when I added hot water to it. So maybe in an ideal world, I would find a more heat sensitive. Like I heard a little crack in it. It's not cracked enough to be seeping or doing it, but something internal. And I can see a little crack that's underneath the enamel in it. So it still functions. There's no chipping or anything to it. So I still do use that one, and it is perfect for mixing the hummus. So it's a perfect size for this. The next bowl I use all the time for mixing oatmeal and pineapple. There are some minimalists that are out there that have one bowl and they use it for everything, but have you ever tried to make something small and made it in one bowl? It just... It doesn't... It doesn't work as well, and sometimes you need more than one bowl at the same time. So, which also brings me to that. So I have that bowl for popping the popcorn in, and then I use this bowl to put it over in. So then all of the kernels that didn't pop, I have access to put back into the popper without seasoning them or anything. So then every single piece of popcorn in here is seasoned perfectly. So that is usually what I use this for. Or when I make a big salad, if I am making the rice and the beans and the pineapple and the corn, and that's gonna overflow this bowl. So you can never do that. So a big salad for this bowl or popcorn. This bowl is always the oatmeal and the pineapple. and maybe, in a regular salad, maybe. And then I need this one and sometimes you need all of those things at the same time. Sometimes I'll eat those things together. I do like to put this is my dream, clumsy. So it's my dream to have enamel plates, enamel everything. would prefer something a little more high quality like this. And I think we're going to find some more stuff like that in the cupboard, and I'm going to bring it out and use it. But that is another thing that I see minimalists do, that I have to this makes my life easier, despite them being nested. In a perfect world, they wouldn't be nested. I'd be able to put one on the shelf, and then I could pull the one that I wanted. This causes a lot of problems for me. The fact that I have to take it out, but I also order and I guess it's the OCD thing, where knowing where everything is, and then take out the bowl that I need, put the other ones back, and keep things sorted and organized. Because again, small spaces. This is what we have to do. Now, ideally, everything I would have would be enamel, because enamel, there's no leaching or anything. It's one of the old-fashioned best things in the world. This is more of the enamel kind of stuff that I would like. This is the tray that I would like. This tray is fine, and I use it whenever I need a tray or something. I want to dine out on the bed and I'm worried about spilling something. That will happen. I also have some drop cloth sheets, protective sheets, because I do tend to eat on the bed. Maybe I'll eat standing up at the counter here. Do I eat quickly? I'd probably eat quickly. Anyway, so when I found these, I thrifted these. Newer, made in China probably. These are the plates that we're going to throw out some plates today. So then I have these, and I have more than one. But do I have? I don't know how many do I have. I think I have 3 of them, which there are a lot of minimalists that have one plate. I like to have. This takes up the space of one plate. I can drop it. There's no point in me not keeping all of these. I don't understand that. What if you need an extra? I do believe that there's some times that you should have a what if. And again, this is all disposable for me. All right, so next are the utensils and stuff that I use all the time, which is a pair of scissors. The knife I use very rarely. This is the spoon, which I love, an old wooden spoon. I wanted an antique one. This one I got from the dollar store. It's because the black rice turned it that color, which I guess that adds character to it. I like it. The scissors have a plastic handle, but they're from IKEA, but kind of unnoticeable, kind of matched. Bins are also from IKEA. These are from Amazon, I believe. And storage containers. So you always want to have storage containers. This is actually, in this smallest storage container, I keep coconut oil that I'll put on my body for easy access. So I don't want to dip. I'll pour a little bit into one of those jars and use it, because I don't want to dip into the one that I'm using for cooking. So I'll pour out some and keep it, and then as needed, I'll return to the coconut oil bottle, put it in that. So I have that if I ever need to, it's a natural SPF. If I need to moisturize, put it on some scars to help them heal and stuff like that. Moisturize my cuticles or something. Even though I've talked about, I guess we have to do another. The beeswax I don't eat, but I have made some cuticle cream with beeswax. Okay, so yeah, I usually eat every single thing that I make, but every once in a while there's something you need an extra container. For instance, I ran out of space for the rice, and I had to use one of those to keep the extra rice in, because I ran out of jars, and I already have way too many jars that I'm using now. I don't have enough space for them. I need to make enough space to hang a dish towel on there. So okay, I don't want to lose you. Back to this. Okay. So what else do we have? Okay, I have to readjust my towel. So we're getting to the part where I am decluttering some stuff that we're seeing, but I'm going to finish talking about. This towel doesn't stay on very easily. I don't know why. All right, so I use one of these as a drying rack, even though that's inconvenient because sometimes, but I try to keep my backpack stock in here, and then the stuff that I use more often, which usually doesn't have anything on it, but these things we are decluttering. Okay, this isn't good enough for me. And I could have replaced this. The reason I bought this was because it came in a set with ones that had grooves in it, and you could and I was big into making salads at the time. I wasn't worried about saving as much money as I am now, so I buy cucumbers and carrots, and because of the ones that had the groove, it's the best one, and I could make a salad by making long strings of carrots and zucchini and cucumbers by putting down the thing. So this was I don't use any of those anymore. I don't buy any zucchinis or cucumbers or carrots, or sometimes I'll buy carrots, maybe, we'll see. But this is the one that I kept. I should replace it, but also, it does not fit in. And you can get stainless steel ones from the dollar store, but I kept using this one. It works really well. I like that I can take it apart. I can take the blade out and clean into there, so I can separate this, and I do it every time just to make sure everything's really clean. I have been buying can openers forever and ever. I googled best can opener. I found a video. Actually, some Canadian guy has a channel. I don't know what it is. I mean, he might be a little too preachy. That's what I find about YouTube a lot lately. It's I'm realizing that it's kind of a religious thing to be so preachy when people turn to some kind of preach somewhere and they need that. I'm trying to get away from all of that, even though I just started yoga today. I don't know if I can afford it though. Can I not afford it though is the question, but I'm going to do the free classes because the studio just opened and they have free classes for until September, so I am going to take advantage of that, and I'm going to see how much I need. I'm going to see how good the community is. I have to say that yeah. All right, so next we have old-fashioned cutlery, which I thrifted. I got its real silverware. It looks like it's from a castle. That's really important to me. Usually I just throw that stuff down in there. To tell you the truth, one of these spoons is always in the cup. So it's easy. The new cup is different for me, but I'm kind of I'm not fat. The cup, whenever I don't want, I've also been putting apple cider vinegar. Oh, I drink apple cider vinegar in water sometimes. I don't know if I said that. That apple cider vinegar that I put in, and I tried putting a little bit of stevia one. It's kind of like lemonade. So I've been doing that, and it's nice to have one that doesn't have chocolate in it. So instead of keeping the cutlery up right in there and doing that, yeah, I guess I've been just putting the things down in here like this. Oh, and I chose, this is weird, this is just a cheap ceramic dish. Every once in a while I'll roast other vegetables, maybe it'll be a special time of the year and I'll want to do something, so I'll get carrots and onions and I don't know what else, potatoes. What else do I roast? Probably just carrots and maybe parsnips and stuff, and corn. I'll put some corn in there too, and I need a dish. So if I need a dish, but that brings me to these ones. I don't. There's something about because I know that they're made in China. They're not. I don't know. They're real enamel. They're not the best quality. I did buy them. I guess these are cake pans. I think they're for to be baked. Ideally, I should use them, but I like the ceramic one so much. So I am, even though it is I haven't found the right enamel cup, and I will probably buy that. That is something that I want to get, but probably not. Okay, so strainer, I'm decluttering this one. This is a large size, probably would fit a large. I buy it to get that. I do have to replace it every once in a while. Sometimes they get bent. I'm being very careful with that one, so that I'm getting rid of. This is a hook that came with a mirror that I bought for shaving in the shower. It works for shaving in the shower. It's also so I can cut my hair and hold up a mirror, and I kept dropping the ones from the dollar store, and they would smash, and so horrible. So I bought myself a mirror, an unbreakable mirror. It also is a fog resistant mirror, so it's really good. I sometimes hang it on a hook in my shower and shave in there, but I've been shaving outside in the summertime because spending as much time outside as possible. I know that sounds weird, but I guess I'm getting ready for my future. This thing I bought twice, so I've been trying not to put oil on popcorn, counting my calories, trying to keep it down. Well, I don't really count my calories, but for a while I was taking inventory of my calories. I think my junk journal that I was going to do on my calories, I might not end up finishing that project. I don't have time to do that project. Anyway, so I probably have one of these downstairs in my donation room. I have a room filled with boxes to be donated that aren't worth anything. It's really nice from the dollar store. Kind of fits in with all of my appliances. And every time I try this, and then I forget. I tried apple cider vinegar and sea salt, and I put the apple cider vinegar in here. This is one that's supposed to be used, I think, for olive oil or something. Food grade one. I don't like the food going through the mechanisms. Like there's a spring in there and the food's going through touching the metal spring. It was kind of why, so I have a channel on here where I installed a water filter, but the water filter's there and you can't clean inside the water filter, and then I see all of like dust and debris, and you can't really even clean the top. You can't get out all of the nooks and crannies of the water filter. So I decided I'm going to drink the tap water and not have the purifier, and also save money on buying filters and stuff. So I mean, I guess I forgot, but then I thought I'm not going to pull up the one from the donation box because it's probably old, and I don't know, is the spring rusty from having the stuff in. I also tried putting rose water and glycerin, so here's another crossover. I didn't think that this video was going to be long enough. Holy good lord. So I had a girlfriend once who had rose water and glycerin. She used to spray it on her face, and it was amazing. I don't know, it smells good, it feels good. And I did go to a health food store, buy a bottle of that, pour it in here, but I wasn't using it. Again, it's so much easier just for me to use coconut oil if I need a little bit of moisturizer. It's just a luxury that I don't have time for, or I just sat on the cupboard and I never did it. I think I did it at the wrong time of year. I'd need more moisturizer in the winter time. And anyway, it just sat there, so I emptied that out, and then it didn't work for the apple cider vinegar, but I was wanting to have popcorn, and I said, I wanted to try it again. Of course it's going to work. And I know people that spray water on their popcorn to make the sea salt work. It doesn't work. The oil is the only thing that'll make the spices stick to it. And the spice combination is so good that I use. I don't buy garlic salt or onion salt, by the way. I buy onion powder and garlic powder because the salt that's in those things. So I try to avoid all of the refined salt, just like I avoid refined sugar. It's the same thing. They do things to it. They add things to it. So that's why I have the Himalayan sea salt, which is just from the Himalayan mountains. Are they ever going to run out of those? I don't know. There seems to be an endless supply of Himalayan sea salt. Or I would use regular sea salt too. It's just something that's not iodized, or nothing added, nothing taken away. That is a whole. There's reason. There's reason that God put the things together the way that they did. You should not separate them. I think that's why coconut oil and olive oil are more acceptable, because you can squeeze the oil out of those things and it can actually come out. So I think that's why. And also they come from places that are really hot. So if you cook them, they're not going to change composition because they're used to the sun beating on them all the time. So I think I've come up with that. That's my common sense scenario of why some of these tropical oils are okay. Because the cold press thing, there's something behind that, because you're getting the oil. How do you get oil out of corn? Think about that. There's no oil in corn. So that is a large amount of processing. If you're just squeezing the olive and oil is dripping out of it, I think that is definitely a more whole food. Then you have to add chemicals and heat it up and process it, and then heat it up again and process it. Another misconception is everybody has this thing about maple syrup being good. There's too much burning, which is a carcinogenic. There's too much refining over and over again, boiling. I'm not. There's a lot of processing for maple syrup. I'm not so sure, but people like to say that's really healthy. I think there's a lot of vitamins and stuff in it, but it is basically just condensed sugar. It's not as simple as just licking the sap, squeezing the sap and getting something out of it. I think sap actually tastes horrible. I think I tried to eat some maple sap once, and it was bitter and horrific. You have to caramelize it. That's the whole. See, that's not taking sugar and burning it. And yeah, come on. Where are we going? Okay, so I'm never gonna do that again. The oil, it's not a problem. It's probably good to have some oil in your diet as well. So, I mean, I haven't been paying attention to. It's a lot of calories, apparently 1 tablespoon. But okay, so here we go. So, oatmeal backup. I have not been using the mustard. We maybe have to take a break. It actually tastes really good, mustard on potatoes. So maybe one day, and there's like 0 calories probably in this whole bottle. So you can add delicious flavor. And I like, and again, something that's really old-fashioned. So I like this old-fashioned deli style. So it's just more rudimentary, just ground up mustard seed, and the whole seed is in there, not refined. And then I guess there's turmeric added to it. But yeah, get this at the Dollar Tree. It's cheaper than at my grocery store. I look at the ingredients. There's nothing bad in here. There is a white vinegar in here, though. It would be better if I made my own, and I have tried that. But, save some time. Vinegar's not the worst thing that you can put into your body, even a refined one. Okay, so here I do have some backups, and these are disposable, just like I guess all of my antiques are. I don't need them, but this is what I love, and it's still minimalist for me to have. Instead of using the glass, see, this is what I was using the extra glass for, but it is. Sometimes I need that extra glass. I don't want to have to wash that glass every time that I want to have a different kind of liquid or water or something. So I don't drink enough water. And here we go. Here's another one for me to. So these are backups. So I do wear them out. I use 1 spoon so much that it gets dented and worn down from stirring so much with it. So, I mean, these get tarnished. When I brought these home, I did an untarnishing, baking soda and vinegar, I think was what I used. Yeah, just my simple cleaning supplies. I already had it. And it cleared them all up. I mean, I don't mind the tarnish. It's just something that happens. But it also proves that they're real silver, which is, how classy is that? So these are just my extra cutlery that matches. Maybe I want to entertain sometime. Maybe I can use my extra plate and my extra fork. And I'm not very good at sharing my potatoes, though. I don't know. But in here, now here's the stuff. This is the stuff we're getting rid of. All right. So it's really hard for me, the chopsticks that you get when you get sushi. I think I take extra ones maybe sometimes, but I mean, I guess it seems like I've bought some sushi over the years, which I guess maybe on a birthday or something I love sushi so much, but I try not to. Oh, this is safe, so we don't shake. I can't adjust I'm worried that this would be a very long video to lose, so I'm not going to adjust. I'm going to bring stuff to you, and maybe I'll turn on the lights. How can this be? I just cleaned this rug, so I don't even mind. I'm not clean, though. I guess I'm going to get rid of these. They're just, I save them. I love to eat with chopsticks. I don't eat anything that can be eaten with chopsticks. I'd always like, if I made those salads with the long grated carrots,
and cucumbers. That would be like a Thai salad. I gotta bend this. We gotta put this down. Oh god, don't stop. Okay, okay. Yeah, I enjoyed eating those with chopsticks, but yeah, okay, and they're free chopsticks, and also I think we have some that aren't free. So all of this stuff is going in the donation pile, and this is the rice spoon that came with the rice cooker, so you don't scrape the sides. It's Teflon, so I hated having this, and then I don't in just a couple days I could see where the Teflon was going off, and it's a known thing. I don't is it? Can you believe everything people tell you? I think it's pretty known that the Teflon is not good for you, and you should not eat Teflon. So look how tiny this one is compared to the other pot that fits so perfectly, and it's really nice. So I love my Frankenstein rice cooker. This used to boil over all the time if I cooked rice in it. So, and I can make so much more, twice, maybe 3 times the capacity in that other pot. It fit in the machine. It worked perfectly. This I can donate. Maybe somebody wants to eat Teflon, and I'll put the stuff together. I don't know. The lid could come in handy. Wait, is this the lid? Oh yeah, so funny. I would unscrew this every single time, because it would boil over and stuff would get under the screw. So I would take off the lid every single time I cooked rice with it. Anyway, we're getting rid of that. And oh yeah, so the extra scissors, we're definitely keeping those. And then sometimes I do make things with nuts, and I want to, like some walnuts, and I'll mix them with, I don't know, there's cocoa mash and stuff, and I'll mix it with nuts and cocoa powder and stevia and make like a chocolate treat. They have been out of that mashed up coconut for so long that it's been so long, but I might want to crush some nuts sometimes. So this is great. I think I threw out the wooden pestle, mortar and pestle. Is this the mortar or this is the pestle? I threw out the mortar. I just got it from the dollar store. I donated it. I didn't throw it out. I'm gonna keep that. This extra cutlery, like this is camping cutlery that I got from the dollar store. Now it's plastic, but it's lighter, and look, I got more stuff like that. You know what? I should just get rid of. Yeah, if I'm eating apple, I'm never gonna need cutlery. I'm gonna get rid of it all. I'm gonna keep this, and I'm gonna keep the scissors, because I believe in having backups, despite what other minimalists do. Why would I throw out something that I love to use and it's very useful, and that could break, and it probably will wear out, because I do use the same things over and over again. So that's fantastic. I always thought it would be good, but this just encourages me to buy a pie or something in the wild. If I have a spoon, and sometimes it's like, usually I'll buy something that's a pie that's discounted because it's been shifted in its box, and it's the kind of thing that you normally, I hate to admit this, if I was buying pies, like it's usually when I'm on the road, and it's on my bicycle, and I've been biking for hours, and it's an excuse for me, like I can't get home in time to make potatoes, or I can't wash an apple easily. Like it's hard to wash produce when you're out riding around and I'm dirty, and it's just so much easier to buy a pie. Well, I tell myself this, and I love sweet baked goods, but has it been a while since I've done it? It has, but it's very useful to have a spoon or something, and I bought this camping stuff. I like it. It's kind of like Bakelite, which is kind of like natural old-fashioned, the very first plastic ever made, which I'm kind of down with. It's kind of cool, but we're getting rid of that. We're getting rid of the chopsticks. I'll buy an apple and shine it with a cloth. That's what we do. And we might not be able to get water on it, but we're buying apples and bananas. Actually, bananas are good things because they have the protective peel on them. Can't always find ripe ones though, but that is a good thing. So look at how I think this is kind of nesting, but this one's CN. Okay, this one I have to keep because I'm a railway kid. It means, I don't know, I've been super into trains. This is kind of funny that it's coming up right now. My father and my father's father, they both worked on trains. And recently I've been playing some of the train toys that I have, the wooden block train toys. I love them so much. All right, and here is, like, I must have thrifted this. This is an old-fashioned enamel plate. This be the jam. However, I'm never going to eat anything this small, but this is something that I have to keep. This would be one of the things. I don't know. It's obviously older, and it's more the style. It's like that tray that I have. It's just like a camping dish. I've looked online for. I'm gonna keep those. They're kind of sentimental. I would never eat. You know what? I mean, all of my pottery and stuff would have to be just discarded if in the right situation. But some of it I might put in storage. Now these plates are. This is just an extra dish. I used to make. Oh yeah, I used to grind up nuts and make a pie and buy avocados, make key lime pies with avocados and stevia. I guess it was just avocado, stevia, and lemon. You can make like sweet desserts with that, like a key lime pie, and then I would make the crust with cinnamon and ground up walnuts, and I would put that in there and make like a raw vegan delicious dessert. I think that there's videos on here of doing that, and this was an extra pie plate that this worked out really well. Haven't done that in a long time. So and then these plates they're kind of perfect. They're not perfect, but they're white plates are a dime a dozen. I can find other old-fashioned looking ones or real old-fashioned ones in the future. So I am gonna bite the bullet on these ones. But I did get myself. I think I got them at the dollar store, but they looked so like antique that they're off-white. They've got a nice, like elegant design, but not too pretty and not too unpretty. I like diner plates too, just those white ones that are just so simple. Like I'd be totally happy with those. But I guess these need to be. I might have actually thrifted these too. Who knows? Maybe they're older. They don't have any stamp or anything on them. They might be older than I think they are. And maybe I think I got them at the dollar store. It doesn't matter. I stopped myself from getting some plates the other day. I can get them again. So those are going. That's going. I think I might have even gotten this from my father. Not that sentimental stuff doesn't mean anything to me, but I say that. Okay, so extra wooden spoons. I'm not going to get rid of them. You saw the state of my other wooden spoon. A shot glass is a measuring cup, which this could come in handy. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to throw that out yet. Funnels always come in handy. I have another. I should have another funnel. Did I throw it out? I don't know where the other funnel is. This is a weird sized funnel I have. This I'm keeping. This is a popcorn top, but sometimes you buy a popcorn maker, or a popcorn maker is going to be discounted because it doesn't have the lid, and usually they're the same size. This is different from the size that I have in there, so I'm hanging on to that just in case I get another popcorn maker. This this is a little plastic measuring cups. You know what? I'm going to get rid of this shot glass. I never have to measure anything this small anymore. I'm not a measurer either when I'm a cooker. I do it by feel. I don't know. I forget why I needed that. There was something precise that I was making all the time, and I thought, what a perfect, like old-fashioned, timey measuring cup to use. But no, and I'm going to get rid of the funnel because I never use that anymore. This came with the air fryer. It's not an air fryer. It's a halogen cooker. To lift the trays out, I just use my fingers or a damp cloth when I'm taking a hot tray out. I'll never use that. I'll donate it even though nobody will know what it is. Bottle washing brushes, I'm going to keep those. I'm going to keep this rubber washer in case I want to seal one of my jars. I never do. I just keep them loosely closed. That I'm keeping. I need to measure that. And these spoons are extra. I'm gonna keep those. Again, could be abandoned, but I'm not throwing out something that I use every day. And this is from IKEA, but it's an enamel strainer. This could come in handy. It gets dusty even inside there, so I'm gonna hang on that. It might have to be. This could come in handy. I could use it. Extra one of these lids. I have a huge collection of lids for my jars somewhere. I have to figure that out. Two antique bowls. Actually, this one's antique and old and cute, and this one is just a small bowl, small white bowl. It's hard for me to not have a white bowl, but I'm gonna hang on to these. In the end of the day, these things could be gotten rid of. They'll probably have to be abandoned, but I love them. And in a perfect scenario, like no matter, that's how I look at some things when I'm decluttering sometimes. If I won the lottery, for example, and came into $70 million, and then I was like, I would keep all these things because these things are one of a kind. Like, I might be able to find them. I might be able to pay $50 for this bowl online. And if I had that kind of income, maybe that's what I would do. But maybe I don't get that much. Maybe I only get $1 million. Maybe I get no money. But these are things that I would want in my life. So that's how I know. If not, these are things that I would go out and get again. Which, well, yeah, I don't know. Was it better to just to go out and get them again? Again, I have different layers of decluttering. I have most things are abandoned. Like, I would just take a toothbrush, my tea tree oil. I wouldn't even use baking soda if I was brushing my tea tree oil, baking soda, and then I would jump in the ocean. If I lived in Hawaii, I would just jump in the salt water. Salt water is so cleaning to bathe myself. And that's all I would need for beauty supplies. I'd probably get an electric razor, charge it while I'm editing my videos at night in McDonald's. What would I buy at McDonald's? I don't know. Who knows? Tea. Drink tea for work for 8 hours. Probably only work for 4 hours. Sleep all day on the beach. That's what I think. That's what I think is going to be my only option. So I'm keeping those for now. Those are like if some kind of more. Those are if something miraculous happens. Oh, and I didn't show you these. Which these are. I bought 2 packs. So me and my future wife could go on picnics together, out in nature. She's all ethical too, and loves to eat al fresco on a beach in Hawaii with our bamboo cutlery. And but I mean, I don't need cutlery to eat apples and bananas. So there's a straw. There's a bamboo straw and a little thing, and then there's also this little. It's like this is this 100% cotton? There's something that this is like a colored cotton. It's not like a natural cotton. That's where they went wrong with this. Also, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. They're pretty cute. I bought 2 of them. They were at the dollar store, so I didn't pay too much for them. And when I saw them, they were like, "This is like a dream scenario. This is more of my dream life. This is the." But nah. And then what's the practicality of the cloth? The cloth bag is not like, once they're dirty, you're not going to want to wrap them up. Can you put this in the washing machine? Do you want to put it in the washing machine? Does it hold? The fact that it comes with knife and fork and spoon, chopsticks, and a straw that you can clean, really cute. Donating. That's definitely a world that I will never have time for. I'd actually rather take the silverware to the park if we were in a scenario like that. Make it super glamorous. That does remind me. I have decluttered other appliances. This is a good thing that this came up. I thought about going down and getting. I have a hand mixer that every once in a while I would mix some coconut milk and make a pina colada. And I saved this crushed pineapple. I usually buy Tidbits. The Tidbits taste best when making my pineapple and oatmeal concoction. Again, you don't have to cook it. I just add the Tidbits with the spices and the ginger and the cinnamon and a little bit of sea salt. But I would use the hand and blend this up and make a pina colada. Sometimes make it even a little sweeter by adding some stevia. I thought I was going to go down, dig out the hand blender and do that. I still haven't done that. I've had this coconut milk for a bit, but I probably just save this for pineapple. The store is out of the pineapple. I refuse to buy like the brand name one because it's more money. Like I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna buy just the no name, the less expensive one. But are they gonna come into stock? I could go to Walmart. This is my grocery store where I also wait for buy this much canned fruit and we'll give you $5 back, which is I usually take advantage of those deals. So I usually buy them in bulk, but they haven't had pineapple for a long time. In fact, I have some coupons waiting, and I can save my coupons each day, waiting for them to get the pineapple. But maybe we're not eating pineapple anymore. Maybe we're just going to buy apples. It might actually be cheaper if I do the math. I think that 3 cans of this is less than 1 giant bag of apples. Yeah, I mean, definitely volume-wise. I just had, my bowl was just overflowing with apples in there. Definitely take up more space than these 3 cans of pineapple. This is easy, and it is something that I can always have on hand, and I can always make the meal. Like, it's not that is one of the benefits to having this, and also having it in bulk and in storage, is that I can keep it as a backup, so I can always have food. So there's always something I need. I mean, I always have that. I can just dig in here with a spoon if I'm starving, or like maybe, what if I get sick? What if I got COVID or something and I was barely able to get out of bed? It would be good to have something here where I could just easily get something and not have to go to the store. So, never got COVID. Knock on wood, my throat's been so sore, but I think it's an allergy thing. And also talking so much. Which, what a great segue now to shut this down. I do have to do something. Maybe I might just mix these together without blending them. It would taste really good. This is probably a lot of calories. This would be a special treat day. It would taste really good. Just mixing the crushed pineapple, eating it with a spoon, like some sloppy juice pina colada pudding. It would be good. Oh, like people have those smoothie bowls now. So yeah, I don't like to mix too many things. Ingredients too. That's another minimalist part of me. You might have noticed that my I've tried. I'm actually really good at cooking because I am so carefree, and cooks don't usually measure things. That you just feel, and you know what to put in. You know what tastes good together. And I really am a minimalist in what I eat. Just sometimes I run out of hummus or baba ganoush while I'm eating my potatoes. Like I'll finish off the can, and just eating the potatoes. They're just the roasted potatoes. Like no oil, nothing. I just throw them on the rack in the halogen cooker, and they're delicious. And I just love eating them by themselves. Sometimes I'll sprinkle a little sea salt or dip them into a little bit of sprinkled sea salt on my plate. But I do sometimes just catch myself just eating the potatoes by themselves, and they're delicious. I can't believe potatoes. Potatoes are the cheapest food you can eat, and they're so easy to make. I guess that's why I don't eat the rice. I do love the rice. The rice is actually really good, and now that I have the double sized, it doesn't boil over, it doesn't get messy or anything. It's really easy to cook. The rice cooker shuts off when the rice is done. Like, that's totally incredible. I do notice that I have to add more water then. It might be because I use such healthy rice that it absorbs more water. Maybe the brown rice and the black rice, they need more fluid, because I have to put in like twice as much liquid as any instructions ever say to use. Nonetheless, yeah, potatoes I guess taste so much better than rice. Rice and potatoes taste good. That's a lot of starchy things. I don't think I'm having any problems though. Like, as much as people tell me to eat more, people probably tell me that 3 pounds of potatoes, that's ridiculous. You can't eat that much. Like, it's more than the abundance of calories that you're supposed to have. That's like 1,000 calories just in the potatoes alone. Add the other things that I add to it. Like, I mean, before when I wanted to get nice and slender, because I've always wanted to be as slender as possible. I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, I think I am pretty happy with this. I need more muscles. Like, I haven't been doing my shoulder exercises to make. Like, if I'm going to be skinny, I figure that I need to make my shoulders as broad as possible. My chest, it's never been a problem. It's always been too chesty. Now we're talking about myself. All right, it's been a great video. Nobody's made it this far, so that's good. Got some boxes of stuff that I have to deal with over there. Uh-oh, I'm moving the camera around. Better be careful. The computer could shut down. Lots of boxes of stuff to deal with over there. So happy that I got to do this video. The next video will probably do better than a minimalist food, bathroom, kitchen video, because people like the fashion videos. But it's actually going to be a really good video because I didn't wear anything at all. Like, I wear a towel around the house, but I got 3 pairs of shorts that I've been mostly wearing. It's gonna be good. It's gonna, for different scenarios, and we'll talk about that. Thanks. There's probably other stuff. Oh yeah, and we have to do the cleanup video. I'm going to go around here showing you what's not perfect, what I would change, what I would do better, what I could do better. Yeah, thanks so much for the long video. Love you. Sorry about the lighting not being good at the end. I can't believe you watched this whole thing. You're nuts. I love you though.